about what's going on, who's buying cryptocurrency. So the report makes the conclusion that hedge funds, family offices, and high net worth individuals have been increasingly buying cryptocurrency in 2018, increasing even more in 2019, and most likely increasing even more in 2020. We're going to go over the exact data in this video. Make sure you watch the whole video today. Don't tune out just because we're going over data. And just so you realize, this 23-page report was conducted by the very reputable PricewaterhouseCoopers, who is one of the big four accounting firms and professional service firms, and also Elwood Asset Management, which is a financial company in the digital asset space. So I'm going to leave a link to the full report in the description below, but right away, let's go over the key takeaways. Who are the investors in question? Well, the vast majority of investors in crypto hedge funds, 90%, are either family offices, 48%, or high net worth individuals, 42%. And by the way, guys, if you appreciate me breaking this down for you, give this video a like. If we get to 2,000 likes in the first 24 hours, that tells me to keep going with content like this. And by the way, I'm going to go even further than just this report. I also want to talk about Grayscale. Now, I want to talk about Fidelity as well, so a lot to get to today. But anyways, the report, the hedge funds, what is the size of their holdings, what's the size of their assets under management, and how has that increased year over year? 4 takeaways, pay attention. We estimate that the total assets under management from crypto hedge funds globally has increased to over $2 billion in 2019 from $1 billion the previous year. The percentage of crypto hedge funds with assets under management of over 20 million has increased in 2019 from 19% to 35%. The average assets under management increased from 21.9 million to 44 million, while the median assets under management has increased from 4.3 million to 8.2 million. The median assets under management at fund launch is 2 million, indicating that funds have generally seen a 4x increase in asset under management in 2019. So every metric is showing that these hedge funds have much more skin in the game year over year. So the next question is, well, what are these hedge fund strategies and what coins are these hedge funds holding? The most common crypto hedge fund strategy is quantitative, 48%, followed by discretionary long only, 19%, then discretionary long short, 17%, and then multi-strategy, 17%. Most crypto hedge funds trade Bitcoin, 97%, followed by Ethereum, 67%, XRP and Litecoin, both 38%, Bcash 31%, and EOS 25%. About half of crypto hedge funds trade derivatives, 56%, or are active short sellers, 48%. Crypto hedge funds are involved in cryptocurrency staking, 42%, lending, 38%, and borrowing, 27%. And then most of these hedge funds come from either the United States of America or the United Kingdom, and then they do business in the Cayman Islands, United States, or British Virgin Islands. And by the way, guys, everything that we're going over today, the general public has no idea that this is the case. The general public has no idea that Fidelity is still interested in Bitcoin. The general public has no idea that hedge funds are starting to get increasingly more exposure to Bitcoin and other digital assets. The mainstream media does not report this, so just keep that in mind. I mean, that's the reason you subscribe to this channel, because we're one step ahead of the curve. We're one step ahead of the general public, because we are seeing that smart money is buying, and I try and actively prove that so often on this channel. So let's move on to Grayscale and Fidelity. So Grayscale bought 9,500 Bitcoin in the past 8 days. For reference, only 7,200 Bitcoin were mined in that period, since we just had the halving. Think about it. The question is, well, why is Grayscale buying so much Bitcoin? Grayscale Investments is seeing surging interest from hedge funds and other institutional investors for its cryptocurrency trust. Here is why. And again, we're just going to go over the points. In brief, Grayscale's total assets under management has risen to $3.8 billion, a nearly 50% increase year over year. Most of this buying comes from institutional investors seeking exposure through 401k and pension plans. A fair number of traditional hedge funds are jumping on board too. as the institutions are warming to Bitcoin as a potential hedge for rampant monetary stimulus. And just so you know, when people or institutions buy Bitcoin from Grayscale, to own one Bitcoin in the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, it costs about $11,200 or 1,000 shares of GBTC. That's the premium. Bitcoin costs around $9,500, but they're paying $11,200 because they feel better going through a trust as opposed to just buying it on spot. So again, we're pretty early in this thing, and we're just starting to... Well, anyways, let's get to Fidelity. So Fidelity is a major financial institution in America and across the globe. It surprised everybody a couple years ago when Fidelity announced that it had been mining Bitcoin since like 2014 or 2015, and they're still into it. They wrote, "Later this month we'll release highlights from our annual Institutional Investors Digital Asset Study. The results suggest that digital assets continue to gain adoption and interest by various institutional investors. All signs point to their buying, they're gaining exposure." Let's move on to a little bit of different news. So we're going to end the conversation about hedge funds and institutions buying. If you have thoughts on that, make sure you leave them in the comments below. I want to know what you think, the coins that they chose, their strategies. Let me know what you think about this. I think it's a net positive that we're seeing an increase. People just gaining exposure, getting off zero, getting some skin in the game. I think it's a net positive for sure. Well, let's move on. I want to talk about Brave browser and how they just violated users' trust. And this actually comes off the back of a story we reported to you a week or two ago, or a couple days ago maybe. This is the story from a couple days ago. Brave browser, 15 million monthly active users, a massive growth. The Brave web browser is experiencing unprecedented growth. Advertisers around the world are rushing to promote their product on this new system. The essence of the project seems to resonate strongly with enthusiasts in cryptocurrency, but also with the more general public. As proof, during April and May, the Brave web browser saw its number of users increase by 1.5 million to reach the figure of 15.4 million monthly active users. So by all accounts, Brave was doing great. A lot of people who were interested in the basic attention token thought, oh my god, this is really great. Unfortunately, Brave browser is under fire for violating users' trust. So on a platform that claims that the user is the most important, it's incongruent that now it's revealed they were taking advantage of the user. Basically what they were doing is, for certain websites like Binance, like Coinbase, like others, if you typed in the general website in your browser, it would automatically redirect to their affiliate link for Binance or Coinbase. So they would be profiting immensely. Anything you do on Coinbase or Binance, they would be receiving affiliate commission, and they did not let their users know. Binance, Coinbase, Trezor are among the crypto companies that Brave profits from through their affiliate links. The company's CEO apologized and promised that there will be no more links like this. Oh, okay, he apologized, guys. I'm sorry. It's all good.
All those affected, I want to say, we are deeply sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry. Sorry. Sorry.
Let's move on. This is pretty good news. Crypto Mom nominated to serve as SEC Commissioner until 2025. So Hester Pierce, affectionately known as Crypto Mom, looks set to serve in the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission until 2025. This is a little bit of good news because Hester Pierce has generally been favorable towards fair cryptocurrency regulation. So if she is the SEC chair for the next 5 years, obviously a great thing. And then finally, I guess that's it today, guys. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. I'll leave a link in the description. We've been tweeting some pretty good memes lately, so check out both of these two memes. I posted them on our Bitcoin, so maybe you saw them there on the subreddit. And that is it for me today, my friends. My name is Aaron at Altcoin Daily. Oh, it's actually pretty cool. I don't know if you noticed this. Barry Silbert retweeted that one tweet I shared with you earlier, so that was, pretty cool. Barry Silbert, obviously kind of a controversial sometimes, but definitely known OG in the space. retweeting one of